Let's rejoin our family. Betty, Eunice, Rich, and Ida are meeting with Stephanie, a professional who's helping them sort out their options and develop a plan for the future.
I don't know which of you to praise, but let me say that whoever had the idea to come here today deserves a lot of credit. I wish a lot more families would plan in advance when they have a lot more options available to them.
Well, Betty and Mama get the gold stars.
Oh, you get a gold star too, Rich. You called Stephanie.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Rich has told me generally what you need, but exactly what kinds of questions do you have?
Well, I guess I'll start. Daddy had a will, of course, when he died. But Mama needs to know what happens next. Does she need to have a will of her own?
Well, everyone was provided for in my husband's will. But I've been wondering what'll happen a few years down the road if I'm in poor health and not myself anymore. Now, how will my finances be protected? And who will make the decisions for me?
I was wondering that too. Who would be in charge of Mother's health? Would it be one of us or all three of us? And if it is one of us, who decides who that is?
Well, that raises a good point. Eunice and I live 40 miles away, and Betty lives like right next door to Mama. I can see where a lot of this is going to fall on Betty's shoulders.
These are all very good questions. You're thinking along the right lines. Let's do it like this. I'll explain some terms and options so you can discuss among yourselves, and I'll give you some documents that you'll want to start becoming familiar with these, and you might want to start filling some of these out. Then we'll get back together. Sound okay?
Sounds good.
The first thing to keep in mind is that there are different kinds of wills. One kind speaks for a person at death, and the other is what's called a living will, which isn't really a will at all, so the name can be confusing. The living will outlines what to do if a person is alive, but say in a coma or for some reason unable to act on their own behalf. You'll also want to learn about what's called a durable power of attorney. And again, there are many types of durable powers of attorney. One's for financial affairs, one's for health concerns, and so on. And there are also things like living trusts and letters of last instruction.
What about decisions regarding where Mama will live and who will care for her?
Well, those decisions will need to be made soon and with Ida's direction and approval. There's different types of care depending on your mother's age and health. But if it's a nursing facility that you...
No, not that. Now, I want to be in my own home as long as possible.
Okay, well, then the in-home care options will need to be studied carefully, and you'll want to learn everything you can about the issues that can arise. If you can see these issues coming, then you can handle them and avoid problems.
What about Mother's savings accounts, her IRAs and Social Security checks and those sorts of things?
Well, that's up to Mama, Eunice.
My advice to Ida is to share all that information candidly. The more information you know, the better. There won't be any surprises in the future. The communication between you is very important, between the four of you.
I'm sorry, but I think Mama's finances are none of our business.
Oh, phooey. This is no time for secrets, especially with my children. But thank you, dear.
Well, we don't have to know exact amounts, Rich, but it is in Mama's best interest to give us a good idea as to what she and Daddy set up and what all the accounts are for.
Absolutely right. I can tell you story after story about families who wanted to be polite and not ask about their parents' finances, only to be faced later with chaos and heartache when it was too late.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I think we ought to look at these documents and move forward from there.
I'll second that.
What do you think, Rich?
Well, I agree it's important that we're all communicating, we're all part of the process, but I'm not sure about some of these terms in this thing, durable power of attorney. I think we need to look this over before we all go jumping into this.
Well, I agree. And I'll be able to go into a lot more detail at our next meeting when I know what Ida's current situation is. Then I suggest you learn everything that you can. The more that you know, the better. Not just for you and your sisters, but for Ida as well. And that's what this is really all about.
The family's decision to consult with a third party is a wise choice. Bringing in an outside professional helps clarify issues and improve communication. This professional can also help family members become familiar with important terms and documents such as a will, a living will, different kinds of power of attorney, a living trust, or a letter of last instruction.